Five-time All-Star Marques Johnson.
Alongside Marques Johnson.
What's up, everybody? Hey, this is the Here District, captain of this vessel. And I got my first mate, my number one son, Chris Johnson.
What up? Talk to me.
Holla! Let it rain, man. Let it rain.
I guess they go, guess what? We're going back to teach on Friday.
Can't pass us all the breakfast.
Can't pass
Go fight. Welcome, everybody, to the Here District. Marques Johnson.
You're listening to a Bucks Plus audio production on the Bucks Plus Network.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend. This is Here District with Marques Johnson, alongside his son and 1995 NCAA champion, Kris. Here's MJ.
All right, welcome to Here District. I'm the captain of this vessel on this fantastic voyage. I got my first mate, Chris Johnson, my son, alongside, and we are extremely fortunate to have a young man who has moved over a couple of seats on that bench. He's going to be in the hot seat, head coach of the Bucks Summer League team, Bucks assistant coach Pete Dominguez. Welcome to Here District, Pete.
Hey. How's it going? Happy to be here. Really glad y'all decided to invite me, and really looking forward to Summer League. We got a really good group, so we'll be heading out tomorrow, and I think we got good things in store.
And so before we jump into that, let's talk about you in terms of your background, your relationship with Doc Rivers. Let's just start off with basketball, your love for basketball. When did that happen? How did that happen? Just kind of where you grew up. Just kind of give us a little synopsis of the backstory of Pete Dominguez.
Yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, California. I played high school basketball, and I was never good. I was actually a really bad player. But I was fortunate to maybe not have as much talent as I'd like to have, because I knew from a young age that I wanted to get into the coaching side. So I played basketball, and then when I was done with high school, I went up to San Francisco, finished school at San Francisco State University. And during my time in the Bay Area, I got an internship in media relations with the Golden State Warriors. Wow. And I was working under a gentleman who's their VP of communications right now named Raymond Ritter. And I worked 4 years. Yeah, Raymond's a mentor of mine, and he's done really well by me, and I'm really grateful to have worked under him. But what that internship with the Warriors really afforded me was a look into how basketball operations departments operate and what avenues were available for me once I graduated in terms of pursuing a coaching path. At the time, it was the video room, right? That was the lowest of the low. Video internships, assistant video coordinator positions. So I got my hands on the software that all the NBA teams use around the league. Kind of just started messing around with that. And then when I graduated, moved back home to LA, and I kind of just started going around to coaching clinics. I got really lucky. I went to a coaching clinic in Orange County, met a gentleman by the name of Russell Turner, who's the head coach at UC Irvine men's basketball. I was able to connect with Coach Turner and kind of let him know, where I was at and what I was trying to do. Coach set me up with an internship with his Dobo, his director of basketball operations. Came in, and I kind of showed them what I could do with the limited film skills that I had. And Coach really did me a solid, and he did me a big favor, and he offered me an opportunity with really no experience in video. I worked 2 years at UC Irvine under Coach Turner. And I learned a ton. I was just, I was in coaches' meetings, and I was just, I was in the mix every day. I wasn't able to do anything on the court because of the NCAA rules at that time. But I was working with the coaches every day in terms of scouting, game plan, creating practice plans, stuff like that. And I was handling all the video responsibilities. I was really lucky. We were able to have a ton of success while I was at UC Irvine. I was a part of the school's first ever NCAA tournament berth. Really had some good players come through the program. And then after 2 years there, the Clippers at the time had an internship available in their video room. And I was living literally across the street from their facility at the time. So I got in touch with their video guy, was able to schedule a meeting, had a cup of coffee with him. They brought me in for an interview. And I think more than anything, I was right place at the right time, and I was really easy to hire for them. So I was able to meet Doc and interview with some of the coaches. Got on with the Clippers as a video intern, worked my way up through the video room, and then when Doc went to Philadelphia, he offered me an opportunity to go with him. And that's kind of when I started my coaching career out in Philadelphia. Spent 3 years with Coach there. And then at the end of last season, when Doc made the decision that he was going to do TV for a year, or what we thought was going to be a year, right? It kind of put me in unfamiliar waters, and I had to figure something out. I've always been a big fan of international basketball. Even, as a kid in high school, I remember coming home from school and watching EuroLeague games and stuff like that. Maccabi Tel Aviv was like, everyone asked me, you a Laker or a Clipper fan? I'd be like, I'm a Maccabi fan. That was my thing. So I always had that passion. I always wanted to go overseas and have the opportunity to learn a different game. I got really lucky. A gentleman by the name Fabian Borro, who's the president of a club called Obras Sanitarias in Buenos Aires, Argentina, was able to get in touch with him through one of my dear friends, Pablo Prigioni, and went down to Argentina around this time last summer and took up a head coaching position with Obras. The team was in the first division in Argentina, and I had the time of my life, both professionally and socially. And I think, the biggest thing for me was the growth opportunity. I really got a chance to be uncomfortable and put myself in a position where I had to do it. I was so used to working in the NBA where the staffs are so big. You got player development coaches, you got offensive coaches, defensive coaches. But when I was down there, it was me, 2 assistants, and a strength coach. Yeah. So I did that.
It sounds like when I played, Pete. We had Don Nelson and John. We had a head, an assistant, and a trainer. But tell me about, before you continue, but the video room. What is it? Eric Spoelstra, Mike Budenholzer, Frank Vogel. It's just so many coaches. Yeah. Great head coaches, championship coaches in this league that got started in the video room. What is it about the video room that leads to the development of really good, solid NBA coaches?
Yeah, so a lot of people say it's like the incubator of coaching staffs for the league, right? That's where they develop a lot of their young talent. But everything comes through the video room. Everything starts in the video room. So I think the biggest way of teaching, at least I believe, is through film. And obviously all that film is produced through the video room, and it's really hard to skip steps in the video room, right? So you're working with the player development coaches, putting together development plans for your young guys. You're working with the offensive guys, and you're looking at, the defensive side of the ball. You're working with the defensive guys, so you're seeing the offensive side of the ball. So you're really not skipping any steps, and you're really thrown into the fire. And it's a grind. It's a grind. My first 2 years, I was working under Lawrence Frank at the time with the Clippers, was our defensive coordinator. And Lawrence is someone I got tremendous respect for. He taught me a ton. Both with his professionalism and his work ethic. And I think just cutting my teeth for those 2 years with Lawrence really prepared me for the rest of the years that I had ahead of me in the NBA.
Pete, I'm curious, just as you have gone on your coaching journey, just some of the things that you have taken from some of these stops, like for instance Argentina, like what was maybe the most important thing from a coaching perspective that you learned and that you took from that stop, and then your time spent at other areas too, Clippers, video room, around these people as well.
Argentina was incredible. It's just such a different brand of basketball, and I'm so lucky and so privileged to have been around the NBA the last 10 years. And I think, the NBA's got the best players, and I think it's got the best coaches. But because of the level of talent in the NBA, I think it lends to a style of play that is so direct, right? So direct. Some of these guys, all they need is one screen, and they just need space. And then, they can create magic out of that.
Facts.
There's a ton of talented people, basketball players down in Latin America, but they're not the level of your average NBA player. So the systems that I saw down there were incredible. Trying not to use too much coach terminology, but in the NBA, a lot of people, they kind of get turned off by what we call it like window dressing or smoke actions, right? False motion, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, people don't run that with a purpose here. People don't really value it as much. But down there, man, they got so many wrinkles to their stuff, and you'll have you'll have a slot cut to a cross screen, to a pin down, to a flare, and then they'll throw it to the post, and then all of a sudden it'll be an uphill DHO to a swing, and then that's when the action starts. And seeing those teams execute those systems with so many wrinkles and so many nuances to them, guys that have been playing for the same club for 7-8 years, which is a lot more common out there than it is here. Man, they got some stuff to them, and having to defend that and having to coach against that was really, really challenging. And I got to be honest, man, for a while there, I thought I bit off more than I could chew because it was really, really tough. And I knew that I had to adjust some of my NBA philosophies really quickly. But luckily, I had a really good staff down there, and I was able to do that. And we enjoyed some success in Argentina.
Yeah, man. And so let's talk about summers. And so, for me, Pete, a couple of things. Larry Brown, I was going to jump out of college into the ABA at the time with the Denver Nuggets. Larry was a coach. We had dinner. I flew down to Denver. Don't ask me who paid for it, but I flew down to Denver to watch the ABA finals. Dr. J against David Thompson, the New Jersey Nets against the Denver, one of the greatest aerial shows I've ever seen in my life. But so Larry and I had dinner. Larry told me really a sound piece of advice. The most important summers of your career will be the summer before your rookie year, when you get ready to be a rookie, and then the summer after your rookie year, when you see what you need to work on and improve upon. And then Don Nelson, after my rookie year, brought me out to LA in the summer. I didn't play in the summer league, but he corrected my jump shot for him. I shot with just all wrists, didn't have great form. He told me to let that arm kind of flow through. I went out, Pete, to a playground right after that. I couldn't miss, and I wound up averaging like 26 points a game my second year in the league, first team All-Pro. But it was just that little adjustment that nobody had ever told me that before. No one. They'd all made suggestions, but nobody told me that. The point being, summers, just in terms of importance in a player's developmental trajectory. I mean, that's serious business. I mean, in terms of what these guys are out there doing. Talk about that and your responsibility to these young players to get better.
Yeah, I mean, there's no off season, especially for these young guys, right? The off season is kind of it's moving time for them. It's when they take steps forward. Doc's always really emphasized having a elite level player development staff every place that he's been. He's brought in a couple coaches, specifically Jason Love and Spencer Rivers this offseason, who these guys are incredible at what they do. Not just the technique and the skill, but, to get these guys to come in every single day and work on a lot of these things, create these habits that just require a tremendous amount of repetitions is not an easy thing. Especially when so many of these guys have already enjoyed so much success, right, doing it a certain way. So getting them to buy into creating new habits and kind of developing new techniques is not an easy thing. So I think one thing that a lot of our skill coaches do is it's about creating an environment that's conducive to getting better and flourishing in and just enjoying being in. So our gym every morning is humming with coaches flying around, putting guys through drills. But we got music going, and it's really fun. I think the guys really enjoy being in there, and that's the biggest thing. You want to create an environment where guys – we got a program where we send guys out for a week, let them do their thing, and they'll work with their trainers, and then they'll come back for a week or so, and they'll work with our coaches here in Milwaukee. But when they're in the gym, man, it's smiles, it's laughs, but it's also business. And I think finding that balance is a key to the summertime because there's so much work that goes in the off season. It's important also finding a balance, I think, where you got to let guys, you got to give them a little bit of rein to get outside of their normal skill set or maybe what they do in our system offensively, because we're all trying to grow. We're all trying to take steps forward, but at the same time balancing that with work that, when you're playing with Giannis, you're going to be required to do certain things. Or when you're playing off a Dame, you're going to be required to do certain things. So finding that balance is big. But again, just the energy in the gym, and I think during our summer league practices is something that we've done a really good job maintaining.
Pete, when I hoop, man, I played overseas and I played every summer in the summer league. I was a scorer. So my mindset when I got to summer league was to put up buckets. I remember one summer league in Long Beach, Randy Moss, the receiver, he decided to play. I gave him 40. It was nothing. But on the heels of that, I didn't get one invite to an NBA training camp that summer. My question for you, Pete, when you have a certain profile of guy that's on the summer league roster, like what type of skill sets or what type of value are you looking for them to demonstrate in order for the Bucks and you guys to even have them under consideration to even invite them back to training camp or mini camp or anything like that to be for further involvement in the organization?
Yeah, I think overall you want competitive guys. You want guys that are going to compete on both sides of the ball, because having those guys in your gym at any level, whether that's the 13th, 14th, 15th guy on your roster or whether those guys are under G League consideration, those guys are going to be around your guys, and you want guys around your guys that are going to push your guys. I think John and Milt and the rest of the front office do a really, really good job of identifying those two things, high character guys and high competitors. We got guys that really get after it. I think the biggest thing for summer is like Doc came in and he spoke to the team and he said, look, we got Giannis, we got Dame, we got Brooke Lopez, we got Bobby Portis, we got Chris Middleton. When you add up those shots at the end of the night, there's only about 14, 16 more shots to go around. So you guys better do something besides score the basketball. You guys better do something that impacts winning besides putting the ball in the hoop. And as you guys know, there's a lot of other aspects to basketball, right, that are conducive to winning. So we really emphasize, I think, guys who communicate on both ends of the floor. We believe in that, especially defensively. I think it's imperative. But, yeah, guys who really know how to play off of superstars that can play without the ball, understand spacing, understand when to cut, when to hold, stuff like that.
Pete, what will make this a successful summer in your mind for the draft picks, AJ and Tyler? What are you looking to do kind of with these two young players who, at 19 years old, I don't know how much they will contribute at all this season, but what are you looking to try and get out of them developmentally over the course of this summer?
Yeah, I think them just building their confidence is the big thing. As you continue to take steps in your development, there's more required out of you, but I think you have to maintain that confidence that got you there. And it's harder to do that the higher up the tree, the higher up the ladder that you climb. We talk about, success isn't always linear, right? It's not a straight line. You're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna have days in the gym where you just can't make a shot. But you got to just keep having good days. And we say good days add up. So you make sure that you put in the required amount of work. You make sure you do the stuff that you got to do, and you do it every day. And over the long run, we believe that you're gonna have success. Both of those guys, my biggest thing for them is being as young as they are, and they've both been so impressive in the practices that we've had. Is they're not going to play mistake-free basketball. They're going to make mistakes. But my job is to getting them to play through mistakes, right, and not let those mistakes hinder them, not let them set them back for 2-3 possessions where I got to sub someone out, sit them down, build them back up. Understand that you're going to make mistakes, and it's not about making mistakes or not making mistakes. It's about how you react to that mistake, the next play. And having that next play mentality is big for them because they're going to have ups and downs. It's just part of it. But I've been really impressed with both of those young guys.
In terms of your position as coach, how much autonomy do you have? Is it an organizational thing where you're meeting every day with Doc or talking with John Horst or Milt or somebody about kind of what you want to get out of certain players on a day-to-day basis, or do they just kind of give you an overview of what they're looking for and then leave it up to you to figure out the rest?
Yeah, I talk to Doc daily. Doc's awesome. I think Doc does a really good job of finding the balance of making sure that I'm putting some of our younger guys in situations that they need to be in during this summer league. But I think he also understands that it's an opportunity for growth for a lot of our staff. So he's kind of letting me do some of my ideas. And summer league's a great opportunity to try some stuff out, X's and O's, that, let's take a look at it. And maybe this is something that we could implement for next year. So I talk with Doc every day, but he's been really good at kind of giving me some space. And Ronald Dupree's been a part of our meetings. Every day he's with us, and Dupe's been great. I rely on him for a lot of things. But I have a tremendous staff, not just of other assistants. Our G League head coach, Benno Udrith, is one of my assistants. Spencer Rivers, we brought over Jack Harum. Those guys have been absolute studs this summer league. But we got a lot of guys even in lower level positions, video positions, stuff like that, who are have the opportunity to kind of use this summer league to develop their coaching voices and get reps at doing some stuff that maybe they normally wouldn't get to do. So collectively, it's an effort for everyone, and I think I got a lot of good people working around me, and it is my show. But we got a lot of people who are really influential and helping me make decisions.
Are you able to implement some of those multitude of wrinkles from the Argentinian team that you talked about earlier? Are you able to have that kind of freedom offensively, or you just gotta play it close to the vest?
No, man. I got AJ Johnson, I got Marjon Beauchamp, Andre Jackson. We don't need all that. We're trying to score in the first 8 seconds. We're trying to play vertical. Yes, so yeah. That hasn't transitioned yet over to the summer league team.
That's a good thing. All right, man. Look, man, we appreciate the time, man, and this is an important area, important aspect of these players getting better, as you talked about, just getting better, building good habits. This is kind of where it starts. And man, this is a hell of a responsibility for you. Good luck with it, and congratulations on it more than anything else. Pete Dominguez, thank you, Bucks head coach for the Summer League.
Thank you guys so much. Look forward to seeing y'all soon.
All right, appreciate you.
Take care.
All right, welcome back to the Fantastic Voyage. I'm Marcus, the captain of this vessel. Here's my first mate, Kris Johnson. I want to thank again Pete Dominguez, the assistant coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, head coach, Kris, for the Bucks Summer League team, man. And I can recall, Kris, when you were at Montclair Prep High School, this little small school out in the Valley. Van Nuys. Thank you very much. A school that, in terms of celebrity alumni, Cher went to school there. Michael Jackson went to school there. The Kardashians went to school there. Eddie Ciprian, nice,
Ciprian,
talented actor. Had a series on NBC. Thick. What's the Thick? Robin Thicke.
They don't know we used to carpool Robin Thicke. They won't believe the stories, Dad.
Robin Thicke. I coached him he was a JV basketball player, little cocky guy with the long hair. Could really play a little bit too. But anyway, so I'm an assistant coach. Bob Webb, who played at UCLA on those great Bill Walton led teams in the early 70s, was the head coach. Howard Abrams was his first assistant. I was like third assistant. So there was a game, Kris, where Howard Abrams couldn't be there for some reason. I had to move over one seat, and just moving over that one seat, that was from that third assistant to that second was so daggone hot. It had to be more alert, more aware. Just couldn't fold my arms, fold my legs and sit back and watch and enjoy the game. I had to be involved in the game. So Pete Dominguez, as an assistant coach, moving into that head coach's role, even though it's Summer League, it's still going to be a fun experience, a different experience. Now let's talk about these ladies. Man. And you and I, we kind of go back and forth a little bit on this Rookie of the Year race in the WNBA. And you love, and rightfully so, with good reason, Caitlin Clarke and what she has done as a rookie. Angel Reese, I believe, 14 straight double-doubles, something that no other player has done in WNBA history is impressive. But what did Caitlin do today?
So Caitlin had 29 points, 13 assists, 5 steals, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks, 5 threes. Something that has never been done in WNBA or NBA history.
So as of this recording, Caitlin has done something that has never been accomplished before. She was the first woman rookie.
She was the first rookie to record a triple-double in WNBA history. Only 16 players have ever recorded a triple-double, and she did so as a rookie, becoming the first. Now, Angel Reese, I'll give Angel Reese her props. She also broke Candace Parker's rookie record of double-doubles in a row. Anytime you put yourself in the name of an icon like the GOAT, in my opinion, CP3,
Candace.
right? CP3, right? You're on the same level as her. When they didn't expect Angel to be this good. They didn't expect Angel to have this type of impact. So yes, I am impressed. Today, she got her 14th straight double-double. That is impressive.
Well, and something comes to mind that we've been talking about a lot. As you're, in charge of developing the development of your sister, my daughter Shiloh, going to be a 9th grader coming into high school in September. But Candace Parker had a brother,
right?
Anthony Parker, and so I'm sure they had some really intense battles. Angel Reese got a brother,
Julian.
That I'm sure they've had some pretty intense battles. Caitlin Clarke. I think there was a broken nose somewhere in their history of their battles going at it. So my point is that, and you brought this to my attention. It really behooves in terms of the development, like my daughter, other lady players that have aspirations of playing, big time high school, college basketball. I mean, it helps to play against boys. Playing against boys. And to that point, I talked to a couple of really outstanding players who we watched this weekend. The Sparks in LA did a great job with their promotional thing. They had a junior Sparks tournament. My daughter Shiloh played in that. They won the tournament. But there was a young lady, Princess Poyali Hunkin from Hawaii, going to Santiago High School. I asked her mother after the tournament, what's responsible for her being so advanced in terms of her development. She played with boys all the time in Hawaii. That was her thing. I talked to some other players, Mel Cook, who's an outstanding star of the tournament, same situation. Chloe Jenkins, another player, who's going to be heard from later, played against. So this whole idea of competing against boys. I'm watching the tape. This is the important point. Watching a tape of the UCLA women's team's summer workout, and Jaime Jaquez's sister Gabriella. She's going against this at least collegiate level player guy that's quicker, that's stronger, but she's taking it to the hole. She's got to be more creative. There's a lot to be said, man, for that whole concept of playing, kind of crossing the gender boundaries, and girls kind of playing against boys just to get better.
I think it happens a lot more than we understand and realize. It's just not talked about and publicized. But when you look around NCAA college basketball, Division I women's basketball on the highest levels, South Carolina has an entire roster of dudes that they kind of shuffle in and out that practice against the ladies during the year. UConn, every UCLA, every big time program has male counterparts at their practice. And this has been the case since 95, 96. Yeah. Okay. I know guys, this guy named Rondre Jackson, man, he ended up working as the assistant to the GM of the Lakers, Mitch Kupchak, but he was a practice player at UCLA back in the day. And what it happens is, from a biological standpoint, in my opinion, these ladies are going against strength, speed, quickness advantages. Athletes that have advantages over pretty much everything physical, right? So now you're able to react quicker. You're able to get through physical contact or shoot over a tall, longer, quicker reacting hand than you typically would. This is the way to go in women's basketball, and it has been for a while, MJ. Look at the GOATs. Look at some of the greatest of all time. Cheryl Miller, brother Reggie, Ann Myers, brother Dave. It's not coincidence with all these people.
Well, and to that point, Cheryl Miller worked out with us at UCLA, worked out with myself and Reggie Theus and Kiki Vandeweghe and David Greenwood. She was out there balling, and as cute and as pretty as she was, she would go through this molecular change where she would turn into this just basketball demon, and she would attack us and try and take us to the hole, and we had to we couldn't just relax. She wasn't on our level athletically or quickness wise or whatever, but in terms of coming at us, trying to take us on a daily basis, she was doing that. Ann Myers, same thing. She would practice with us when I was with the Milwaukee Bucks. She'd come into town. She'd come to practice, run some drills, run some 3-on-2 stuff. So you're right. It's been around for quite some time.
And just to piggyback on that, Lisa Leslie and Tina Thompson were mainstays in our workouts at UCLA when I was at UCLA. Make no mistake about it. They were going against us, and we were not taking it easy. You can ask Lisa and Tina today, and they'll tell you that I was trying to block every shot. And guess what? They're telling me, Kris, please don't take it. Thank you. They see me now. It's all love. It's respect. It's admiration. It's like the most love in the world, because they knew that, hey, just because you're a young lady, that you're not going to get it easy out here. And by taking it easy, Dad, taking it easy, MJ, and we touched on this with Ann when we had Ann Myers on the podcast. That's a disservice to them.
It's a disservice.
They don't want you to take it easy on them, bro. That's the whole thing about it.
Yeah, and so a lot of biological differences, but the competitive gene, that competitive angle is prevalent in all major class type athletes like that, and especially these ladies. So that's just a really fascinating dynamic to me when I think about Angel Reese and her brother. I think about Caitlin Clarke and the credit she gives to playing against the boys all the time, and some of these recent young ladies that you will hear more from. Special K, Kalina Smith, she's a guard at Ontario Christian. Tatiana Griffin, I want to throw their names out in the mix too. They're in the same backcourt, freshman and sophomore. Then Karis Rainey is a sophomore at Windward, where Shiloh, your sister, my daughter, and Mel Cook, who's going to be heard from a lot more in future times as a genuine baller basketball wise. So just something to keep in mind. But just wanted to give a shout out to the ladies, man. They're doing a fantastic job. It's just so much fun to watch where the growth of the ladies game, the WNBA, where it came from. I'm watching the Milwaukee Does back in 1979. Back there, that style of basketball, and it was legitimate. But right now, where it's come from 40 years ago, it's just been nothing short of remarkable. So just want to give a shout out to that. So anyway, here, District, he's the first mate. Kris Johnson. I'm the captain of this vessel. Had a great show. And then, again, good luck to Pete Dominguez, Summer League team down in Vegas, man. Let's see what you got, and let's help these guys get better.
Are we going to Vegas?
Man, it'd be nice. I need to talk to Peter Fagan or somebody in Milwaukee. They need to get us down there, man. Johnny Watson, Dustin Godsey, somebody, man, get us down there, man. We want to hear District live in Las Vegas, baby. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Here, District, we're out of here. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
This has been a Bucks Plus audio production.